What? You gonna get up here? Come on then. Come on then. Come on. There you go. Hello guys, welcome to Sim Racing Corner, and Simcat says hello too. And today's video is about this shifter, the JINX sequential shifter, but I figured for a bit of fun I'd bring out this shifter, which is the worst shifter I own versus the best shifter I own. This is a recent eBay pickup. So I saved a bit of money on this, actually a decent amount of money. We're going to that in a moment, but this horrible travesty and basically piece of shit is something I picked up in 2019 and reviewed in 2019. And weirdly, it does have some similar properties to the JINX one, as you can just see the sort of profile of it. You know, it's sort of like a sort of aluminium sandwiching the gears lever. Both use micro switches, both have spring tension. This uses spring tension as well, but with some extra features, which I'll show you in a moment. And yeah, so I thought it was just fun to bring out the worst versus the best looking thing I've owned in shifter world, basically. And yeah, so look at that. I'll put a link to in the description to this review, since just look at it and face palm your way through it, because I did a serious review on this. And yes, I can tell you guys, this is complete. The handle is supposed to be like that. You're supposed to basically shift it like that and have fun with this thing. And it is horrible. I mean, it's horrible in so many ways. But I can get this out of the way, since it is basically pure evil. And bring this one in. So, JINX sequential shifter, a high-end piece of hardware. Not many videos out there on this shifter. There's one review I've found that I'm aware of. But there are a few videos out there of just people kind of, using it on their sim rigs and just in demonstrating it kind of being used, but no commentary, just basically people filming it, on their rigs. So not much in the way of practical videos on this. And I can understand that. It is a very high-end piece of hardware, niche product, high price does mean it's not going to be out there in many sort of YouTube channel videos. I can certainly understand that. I sort of saw this a couple of years ago on the JINX website, and I did think of the idea of buying this, but really this thing costs about £500, over £500 to buy this, and that's a lot of money for a shifting device, of course. And on eBay, this was a lot less. I probably paid about 40% less than new price, and it was sort of right at the sort of price point where I figured, actually, I'm never going to see these again, second hand. It's the only chance I'm going to have, to buy this and own it and enjoy this. And so yeah, so that's how it ended up here. I picked it up, and I'm very pleased with it. So it hasn't been on the sim rig yet. This is really, I've had it on the table for a couple of days, and I do have to mount this, but I do have some other videos that I'm working on at the moment, so I can't really get this on the sim rig, since I have some other shifter related content I'm working on, and I need to get through that before I kind of can enjoy this. So anyway, never mind about all that. Let's have a close look at this. You can see it is aluminium, so it's aluminium, which is like billet aluminium that's been sort of like cut with cutouts in there, and it has this really interesting and impressive sort of holographic effect. I'm not sure if this comes across, because those aren't stickers. This is just like a pattern that's been basically sort of like rubbed into it, or into those little areas, and it just gives this really interesting light effect, which you may sort of get an idea of. But yeah, it looks almost holographic. You can see the logo is etched into there, JINX. Basically identical on that side. And yeah, look at the handle as well. I mean, look how amazingly shaped this is. It's just basically all custom made. These all, this is not off the shelf stuff. It's all cut from aluminium. And just look at the detail on there as well. You can just see here, it's got this like really fancy sort of pattern in there, and also on the sides, right down to the bottom there. So the attention to detail is amazing. This thing looks absolutely beautiful. Yeah, so basically really solid piece of machined hardware here. It's completely tight. There's no looseness there, of course. You can see a really solid bearing on there. And let me just demonstrate it, because you obviously want to see this bit. let's just shift it, and I'll describe how this thing works in a moment, but not too loud actually. In fact, it's pretty quiet for a strong feeling sequential shifter. You can see there's a little bit of motion there before you hit this hard point, and then you have to kind of pull through it. Very nice tension to it. It is adjustable, so I'll show you that mechanism. So first off, you can see these rods here. That's of course the that give it resets the handle and also gives it some tension. And that is a sort of bearing on there. So it sort of gives it, so it moves a little bit, keeps the friction down on these in this point to there. Not sure if it really matters too much, but it's on there anyway. And if you see these chunky pieces here, and you can see that is the rod as well. It's all kind of connected. It goes through there. These grub screws, those big kind of grub screws on there. Bring that in. So down here there's a cutout chamber, and there is basically a ball bearing which is spring loaded, and you can adjust the strength by just tightening or loosening it depending on what you want. So what's happening here is ball bearing is bearing down on this rod here, and there'll be a cutout in the rod basically, and so the ball bearing is sort of sitting in there in that sort of groove, which is then providing this tension. And obviously you move the handle, the rod moves, and then it kind of the ball bearing will kind of lift out and just go out of that groove. So that's how it works. A lot of obviously shifters use that sort of system, using that kind of ball bearing kind of spring loaded system on a rod like that. It's pretty common stuff. And obviously to make something beefier, you have to use obviously bigger springs and bigger ball bearings, and you can just see how big that grub screw is there. So there's something quite big in there to give it a nice chunky feel, and it is a nice chunky feel. Nice amount of throw, I think it's about right. I like that. And of course you would have obviously seen that on there, which is this lever. So I'll just poke it a bit, and that's like a cable there, which then pulls against this piece there, and then smashes into a micro switch which is there. So it's activating the micro switch for another lever. So that's just basically a button, and you would typically map that to neutral. So if you're on 6th gear, you want to get to neutral quickly, so you can then start going into reverse, or start on a lower gear, go that neutral, and then you can start shifting again, rather than going from all the gears from your highest gear to 1st gear or reverse. So yeah, it's just a quick way of operating it to get to neutral there. Just see the bottom there. Attaches to a sim rig via just basically 2 bolt holes there. So it's a very slim profile, as you can see. And that's it really. You connect it to a piece of profile, screw it down, and you're done. And yeah, you're ready to go, guys. Yeah, it does feel really nice. The handle, when I saw the picture of it, I thought this was going to be rubberized, but it's actually just hard plastic. So I'll take it off, you can just see it. So it is replaceable if you wanted to use your own gear knob. And I do have another gear knob, actually, something I just had lying around, so I'll put that on there. But yeah, so hard plastic, really chunky thing with this metal top on there. And this is M14. And you can even take that bit off there, the spacer there. And this is just basically a threaded rod. Let's put that back in there. Put this slimmer handle on there, so you'll see that, which I thought looked quite good. In fact, yeah, potentially I might end up using this gear knob on here, this sort of lever, because it's got a nice size. Yeah, for my sort of sized hands, this actually feels a bit more natural. So well, I thought that looked okay. I don't think that looks too bad. But let me put the original one back on. Yeah, I'll get this reviewed at some point in the future, guys. So this is just really just a first look at it. And yeah, it's a very impressive piece of hardware. You know, it's, I mean, it looks amazing. Feels really good. Yeah, clearly a lot of love and attention to detail, and you know, an effort that goes into making just one of these. Hence the high, you know, the high price tag for this thing. You know, it is not something most people are going to own, so hence the lack of videos out there. But yeah, it is a very nice piece of hardware. So there you go, guys, the JINX sequential shifter. We'll get it mounted on the rig at some point. Maybe we'll do a drive and talk, and then we'll follow up with a review at some point. Don't know when the review will be out, so this is really just to give you a preview of what this thing's like, and maybe and adding another video onto YouTube, since there is a lack of videos on this product out there. But yeah, lovely, gorgeous piece of hardware. And there you go, JINX sequential shifter, guys. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon with something new. So until next time, happy simming, and bye bye.